Oh, I pressed the wrong button. That ended the sound, right? Yes, we're good. Everything's good. Welcome to Captain's Log. Uh, this is me. Man, I'm not wearing my wedding ring. I'm not wearing my Fitbit. I'm choking on water. Um, Hi, I'm Captain Blue Rogue. I'm just a regular American dude, living my life. Uh, and this is my live show where I talk about things like. Let me reset my banner because, in all my haste to get everything ready, I dropped the ball on a few things. But Cake has been running a little behind today. Um, so, and initially I had when I changed my stream in my phone afterwards, I had said I put 5. But apparently when I initially made the decision to reschedule from yesterday, February 1st to today, February 2nd, um, on my socials, I had shared 3 p.m. EST. So, apologies for running late after rescheduling. That's all. It's a pretty good summation of my week, which, oh my gosh, my freaking week. Mostly the past couple days as I just have struggled with getting my brain chemicals back where they need to be. Just trying to, you know, wean off one medication, and it does cause my anger to flare up. Which I'm always trying to keep my anger in check. So, um, and just some frustrating things happened yesterday and earlier this week. Yeah, I'll get into it a little bit. But yeah, this is my live show. I'm just a normal guy living in this and end of late stage capitalism hellscape we call the good old US of A, where Americans by and large actually agree on like 80% of the policies that matter, and then we just let stupid culture. I mean, they're important to the people that they're important to, but we let those culture issues dictate who is in charge instead of letting the policy issues that would impact people's lives uh, play an important role. And it's all out there in the open right now. Um, so yeah, and I'm going to be trying to make myself a bigger presence. I'm going to be launching uh, probably some sort of uh, videos on Blue Sky and TikTok and whatnot, just trying to help people, to give people the information they need to disengage from pieces of the system that are working to control their lives. Um, so I guess that's my mission statement for that endeavor, because I want to try to make a difference somehow, and obviously grow some sort of audience for my stream, but mostly just try to do some good in the world. I mean, that's probably why someone that is why so many of us are struggling with mental health issues and depression and anxiety are at an all-time high throughout even different generations. Anyway, let's do the theme song. I think I'm just only gonna do the melodica today. Yeah. At some point I need to record that and put words to it. When I do so, I will actually do it with this, not the melodica, which I don't even know if the mic picked it up very well. I definitely put a lot more breath into it that time. Because the mic doesn't like to pick it up. But yeah. Anyway, weekly overview. So my week has been it was all right. I made the choice to reply on Blue Sky to George K and had my first like major Blue Sky toxicity moment where this 21-year-old uh I'm just gonna say die hard uh standard issue Democrat uh wanted to somehow compare when I advocated for ceasefire and he's like, well, what would you do as president? It's like, stop funding, like cut off the military aid, like ceasefire, like it's and then he decided to, well, while I was driving home, so I wasn't even able to respond. I got home and there was like 9 replies in a row, one of which mentioned the phrase "sand N-word" in reference to Middle Eastern people. And mind you, this guy was making a big deal about the 30,000 in Gitmo, and it's once I got home and talked to Cake, as she's like, yeah, no, Blue Sky, you don't engage. We give no quarter. We just block and report. And at that, I mean, I had replied and said, I find your use of that phrase disgusting, and I'm disengaging from your toxicity, and that was I replied, and then a little bit later, like before he could type any reply, but enough time for him to see my reply, I blocked him. It's like how, and then it comes out. Dropsite News put out the report about how these 30,000 Gitmo things, that was a plan that was set in motion by the Biden administration. Trump had, yeah, like Biden was the one who gave the funding for uh, private prisons and including Gitmo. Um, that was under Biden's watch. So like him blaming Trump for Gitmo when we were talking about a completely unrelated, yeah, it's just like what really the last thing he said is like, oh, some moron on the internet thinks he knows Middle East. It's like I looked at your pro. You're 15 years younger than me. You live in Pennsylvania. Like, what the hell do you know? Like, I've been voting since Barack Obama's campaign. Like, this was clearly your first election, and you don't understand any anything about like the big details of the world. Um, but yeah, it's that's why when we get to why I love it, we're gonna talk about this classic because I read that in high school twice, and I got a lot out of it. Yeah. Um, other than that, Maddie, one of my cats. I mean, she's had kidney issues for a while, which means she's been peeing on stuff more and more. But uh, she had an X-ray a couple 2 months ago. Uh, no, month and a half ago. And she's has lymphoma. She has a mass. Um, and between it being super cold outside and her, I mean, we've got steroids for her to try to shrink the mass because the theory is the mass shrinks and then she'll get more of an appetite and gain some weight back and be a little healthier. But she's barely eating. She's losing weight and now she's moving less and less. She's mostly spending her time in the bathroom, like the pretty much the center of the house. Well, not quite. The hallway's the center, but the bathroom has a heat vent, and obviously a bath mat. So she's just lays on the bath mat next in front of the heater, and it's like, yeah, I get frustrated and anxiety and depression. Notwithstanding, like I get frustrated when she pees on the couch, but like it's getting to the point where now I'm really looking at her quality of life, and I'm, I know I'm gonna have to make that call. And yeah, um, sorry, Cupcake, you're out there trying to break stuff in the living room. Um, so yeah, yesterday was I woke up and had she's in the bathroom with me before I get in the shower for work, and so I'm giving her attention, and that's when it really hit me. And it's a great way to start the day, right? Acknowledging your cat's petting, and her brother's eating, you know, plenty of food now. She used to, push him out of the way, and she was the large one, but now it's just gained a lot of weight, and now to loves pets. But Maddie was the lap cat. As annoying as she is, she loves cuddles, and I'm gonna miss her so much. And this shouldn't be part of the weekly overview. They're both from the same litter, and we expected now to have kidney issues, and then she got them. But I mean, he had urinary issues, and we were told he'd get kidney disease, but she got it worse first, and uh, so that's that's how things are right now. It is, yeah. Anyway, so other than that work, I'm back to moving basically my full speed again after the broken toe. I'm sort of back up, but I really do need to focus on trying to get some of the exercise ticked off on my goal sheet because I need the endorphins, man. It's between the collapse of the major social media platforms sort of scattering what friends I did have, like coming to the realization is like this is what our parents had to deal with. Like we graduated high school, and we at least my generation specifically, like in high school for me was when MySpace was like huge, like, and then shoot, that was like an hour ago ish. Done. Okay. Sorry about that. Not like anyone's watching. Cupcake, I'm sorry for you about that. Anyway, like, right out of high school, like, I was able to maintain contact with so many people and whatnot, and like, even my 10-year high school reunion was all that information was coordinated and communicated. A lot of it via Facebook. Uh, and it did help me reconnect even more with some friends from back then. So like I did the blackout thing and the blackout meta, and that was it made me just realize that I don't need it. Like, and even prior to then, like I had noticed that most of the things showing up for me was just pages, not even things posted by people. And it's like, I don't want, like, yeah, I share a lot of things from pages. You don't share other people's posts unless they're a post from a page. But, yeah. So it's been a little rough overall, this week. And yesterday I got home and I got changed or whatnot, and I was like, okay, I've got my live show at 8, and that's fine. I brought Cupcake home. They've been uh, out and about, and so and this is why I had to move stream or move this live show. Um, but yeah, got home and I did my chores and whatnot and changed and cake and cupcake got home and she laid him down because he was taking a nap, and I'm like, great, I'll just take a nap. And I didn't turn the phone volume up on my phone. I only set one alarm, and I also did not tell Cake that I only intended to sleep for like half an hour. So I laid down on the couch at 5:55, and she woke me up at 7:30. And mind you, she went into the bedroom and needed to take a nap. Um, so like she wouldn't have even heard my alarm at 6:30. So it was not not ideal. I was like, I have nothing set up in here for the live show. I still didn't rehearse anything for the live performance. Like, I don't even know if I'm doing a live performance. Yet again, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't struggling to just do the basics. And that is reflected in the fact, and I'm getting more stringent about, or more strict. Excuse me. I'm getting more strict about adhering to 6+ hours of sleep in the app. Like, not like, if it says I was awake 48 minutes during the night, and I look at my Fitbit thing and it's just like a bunch of tiny little random ticks, I'm like, besides that, I got 5 hours and 55 minutes. So I'm gonna say that I got 6 hours, because clearly I wasn't actually awake for all those tiny little things. But need to work on the 6 hours of sleep. Like I said, I'm weaning myself off of a medication that is definitely increased my it increased my irritability when I have had to wean myself off it before. Just hate medications that come with tolerance. It's awful. Necessary sometimes to just basically function, but it's awful. I know, as in addition to the exercise, like, I need to work on doing a proper diet. Because Cake and I would like to have another kid at some point. Like, we'd like to have a second cupcake, or, you know. Okay, I'm trying to think of other types of cakes, and the first two that popped in my head sort of don't sound like clean jokes. So I'm just, yeah. Uh oh, trying to run a clean ship here. Yep, nice clean. Um anyway, so I let's move on. Watching and playing and doing, because that's sort of my week in a nutshell. It was okay. But trying to work on self-improvement going into this weekend has been rough. But I am resolved to do better and be better. So, watching, playing, doing. Oh my gosh, the chapter of One Piece that dropped this week was 1138. Um, Insane, absolutely insane. The lore that they put into it, and obviously I don't know at what point Cupcake will consume One Piece. If he has, then he will know. I'll just say the word mural. Frankie sees a mural. That's all I'm gonna say. And oh my goodness, just speechless. Is I mean, like I could talk about it for hours and hours and hours, but the One Piece YouTubers out there do a much better job than I could. I absolutely love and adore One Piece, but I love and adore so many things. And my stream focus is Skies of Arcadia, which Sega did renew the trademark on. I heard the news and I'm skeptical because it doesn't mean anything. It only means that they're retaining their IP. It doesn't mean we're gonna get an HD remake. Like, I'm not holding my breath. I would love it. It would be the best thing ever. But yeah, we'll see. Um Playing, oh, I played Call of Duty 4, um Modern Warfare, and the other game was Battlefield Bad Company, and I hadn't even really gotten anywhere in Battlefield Bad Company. I had gotten through the prologue of Modern Warfare, and was pretty much at the beginning of the first mission ish. Made it through the first mission, but it was painful. I'm not an FPS player. I don't I recognize that I'm not good at the genre. I don't practice the games, so that's why I don't get any better at the genre. Like the closest I go is Metroid, and yeah. But Battlefield Bad Company, there was a story. You were with these guys, like they're actual characters. Like it actually, and it just everything about it felt good. Um, I would definitely return to Battlefield Bad Company uh, as a 360 FPS game. That's what I'm gonna say about that. Even more so than Halo, because even Halo had some ambushes. But Battlefield Bad Company, it's a team. It's an FPS with a story. Um, and there's support and yeah. So I yeah I was pleasantly surprised by it. But other than that, I'm weighing my Hello Kitty Island Adventure options since it just came out on PC and Switch because I I started when it came out, you know, and actually I had more fun in the several months that I was playing Hello Kitty Island Adventure every day than I had in World of Warcraft for a long time, which the irony there staggering. Um, but yeah, it's, you can't transfer your save data from Apple Arcade to anywhere else. So like there's a digital edition that for Apple Arcade, if you don't pay for it, then you can't play the game anymore. So like all my progress there, the second we end our Apple Arcade subscription is I lose access. Um, so it's like it's 40 for the regular version or 60 for the deluxe version. And it's like, well, the deluxe version has the will also give like some sort of boost to stuff to, you know, help you catch up if you're moving over from a platform like I would be. So it's we'll see. I might. I mean, I've definitely since it was a phone game, I've literally paired a Switch controller to my phone and then cast my phone to my Apple TV uh and played Hello Kitty Island Adventure on a TV like a console. So mm, getting it on Switch would be the natural step there. The next logical step. Um it's fun. It's a lot of fun. Maybe I will do it. I'm not an Animal Crossing player. I love the Island Sanctuary in Final Fantasy 14, but with Dawn Trail, they're not adding anything new to it as an Endwalker feature. I'm sure Dawn Trail will have some other feature coming that they have not announced yet. But basically, the Final Fantasy 14 team builds on they do things and then they use those things and testing grounds to build on future like the Hildebrand quest line is just a place where they play around with uh, what they can do with character models and animations and stuff, and then they sprinkle that in to the rest of the game once they've you know tested it uh, in those quests, which I think is a great way to do it. Um, fun, quirky quest line to have fun, test, try stuff out with. It's great. Watching, playing, doing. I've been watching. I'm listening to Gotta Be Done Again. But watching, I watched some Gintama. I've not been watching as much. No, but I watched a decent amount of Gintama this week. Ooh, and the new Doctor Stone. X, yeah. Uh, I'm I'm enjoying the heck out of the things that I am viewing. Obviously, watch Bluey with Cupcake a lot. And ooh, there's this show called Number Blocks, and it's teaching him how to count, and he's already like picking. We there there's an app for it on the Amazon Fire Kids tablet that we have for him, and he was able to, thanks to the show, he's able to already do some basic addition, like not even three. So yes, let's do this. Let's get this kid learning and growing and being his own little person. It's the best thing about being a dad, right? And this falls under doing. This is doing. Being a dad is definitely doing. Um, spending time with my kid. I just I'm I love spending time. Uh, even when I'm feeling done, like I'm finding myself walking away from the computer more and more and more do stuff with him, and that's a good thing, and it does make me feel happy, despite the chemical imbalance of meds. But yeah, playing has been Final Fantasy 14, but less. I've basically been stepping down, and like there's only 4 jobs that I have that are not up to 80 yet, and I am not really. I know I'll pick PvPing back up once they do the Moogle Treasure Trove event. Probably pick up PvP and MSQ roulettes again. But like no, please don't come in, dude. Yeah. Anyway, on to the next thing. Okay. Politipop Theater. So, if you're not familiar, this is called Captain's Log, right? I've got my co-host here, Log. Say hi, Log. Okay, 1 second. Technical difficulties. Where is that camera? There we go. So this is my co-host Log, and obviously he is a piece of wood. He cannot speak, so we have my good friend Frog. Yo! Hi Frog, how you doing today? Well, another day in Trump's America. It's not exactly a good time, but yeah, they took the tea away. They took the tea away? Yeah, basically, Trump came in and he said, there are only two genders, male and female, which, anyone who has taken any sort of class on gender or women's studies, any sort of humanities course in a college or institution, even in a basic high school health class at this point, will know that gender and sex are not the same thing. They're like LGBTQIA plus, like the I's for intersex, like geez, people, back in the 90s, South Park talked about hermaphrodites. Like, there, even in sex, there are more than just two. And it's not like normal, but it does occur. It's why if there you come across a male calico cat, like that's a hermaphrodite. It has it has 3 chromosomes, and like and that's just sex. That's not even gender, and gender is much bigger, and it's based on you personally, like your brain and how you feel and how it relates to your body. Like that is the essence of what gender is and why people advocate that there are more than just two.
And oh, okay, Proc. Hold on. Or log is this frog or log talking? I don't know. Oh, it's definitely me. Mostly because of Jurassic Park. We frogs take the gender change thing very seriously. Jurassic Park really put us on the forefront for that, and unfortunately, I have to carry that flag. Uh, log doesn't even factor into it. The This is a frog issue, and yeah, I need to see more frogs getting in on this topic. But given that Kermit is owned by Disney, that's probably not going to happen anytime soon. You probably shouldn't mention that the K name, but point. But that doesn't answer my question. The T. What do you mean the T is gone? Oh, so on the government website about travel, if you go there, it only says LGB travelers, and it talks about the dangers of being a same sex couple going to a minority. Uh, I mean, there are how many countries in the world? Uh, I, I, me, Log and I don't know, but there are a lot of countries in the world, and the list said like 40 or something. Like, uh, oh, if you're gay or bi, or lesbian, you should be careful if you're going to these 40 countries because it's illegal to be gay or lesbian or bi there. It's like, yeah, the LGB instead of LGBTQIA plus. I don't have the whole list memorized, uh, because my little frog brain it only holds half the alphabet. Don't ask me to explain it. I can't. But yeah, the T and everything following it is missing, and I I mean that is pretty gross. And I assume that that's not the only thing you've noticed. Is it? Oh, not by a long shot. Like there's it. I think the most frustrating thing of all is seeing the Democrats just sit there and be like, "Well, there's nothing we can do," and it's so funny how Republicans always have a thing that they can do, but when Democrats control all three major the House, the Senate, and the presidency, that they were powerless against the Senate parliamentarian who they had the power to fire. Um, when it came to things like a minimum wage or student loan debt relief, you know, they could have done a lot, and they chose the path that would be most easily blocked, and they wonder why Trump won. Yeah, you can't make it up. It's just it's yeah. Well, you know, it's to quote a former president. Um,
Not even that long ago. Um, in fact, I think his name was Joseph Biden. And it was to the same sort of people who were standing behind Trump at the inauguration. Nothing will fundamentally change. And when Biden said those words, he meant them. He meant them so much that he drove us into another Trump presidency. And a lot of people are scared, and a lot of people are freaking out. Um, and I'm gonna take the frog off. I'm just gonna be real with y'all for a second. I'm gonna break the fourth wall of this Politipop theater. And Politipop because I used to use popsicle sticks with googly eyes. Um, a lot of what Trump is doing is blatantly illegal. And as we saw back when he tried to overturn election results and whatnot, even the judges that he appointed, even they ruled against him. This country is set up in a way that until there is a major movement, nothing will fundamentally change. It is, to quote Jordan Sheridan over at Status Quo, we are the United Corporations of America. You saw that on stage behind Trump at the inauguration. Um, you see that blatantly with the companies doing away with their DEI programs. Which, why would you not want a DEI is not a talking point. It's about forcing or encouraging companies to pool from like to look at a bigger pool of candidates, applicants. Like it helps encourage you to find more people. And I've listened to people talk about it on podcasts and stuff, and it it actually broadens your scope of actually, I think it was Jon Stewart, like he was talking to someone about it, and it enables you to find more talented people out there. Like it helps you find the diamonds in the rough that would otherwise be obscured. It's not about forcing change on people or forcing, minorities in the workplace. It's about presenting more options and opportunities, which should always be a good thing. And that's why when Costco uh, overwhelmingly said, no, we're not getting rid of DEI. We think it's good. Like, when they said that, I'm like, glad to be a Costco member. Like, heck yeah. Now, I hope that I haven't followed up yet, but I'm sure I'll find out tomorrow. But like when I hope that I know that there was a warehouse workers strike potentially happening for Costco, but also in other labor news, because Oh, oh yeah. I'm gonna bring some labor news into the Politipop Theater segment because we've got the makings of a general strike starting to form here in the U.S. There's a petition going around. My wife signed it. I'm probably going to sign it. I want to bring it to my union reps' attention, so that get get people involved. Like it's you got to get at least like 11% of the population to have a noticeable like make a noticeable uh shaking of the system. Um, so it's got to get to like 11 million people or something. I forget what the number is, but yeah, sign up for that. The oh the what is it? The NAL's National Association of Letter Carriers, the post office, one of the post office unions. Uh, they voted down their contract, which hasn't happened in quite a long time, from what I've read uh, or heard. I haven't talked to my mailman about it, but yeah, that's pretty significant. They are not allowed to strike, uh, but Canada did just have a postal strike, so it's the union is gotta find some way to put the screws to it because their contract, the one that they're bargaining for, is 2023 through 2026, and it is February of 2025. So that contract was an arbitration for a while, and it was not set. I think the ratio, it was voted down 2 to 1. So for a contract to be in arbitration for that long with workers who can't strike, it's well, it's against the law for them to strike. But we see how the government is handling laws, and it's good to see the National Park Service is just continuing to fight the fight. Like heck yeah. Uh, anyway, let's move on from politics to why I love it, and this has everything to do with politics. We're not actually moving away from politics, um, because this goes right back to that blue sky exchange I had with someone who, and oh, I had another person. So Ryan Grimm, the journalist who is one of the, I think, co-founders of Dropsite News. I re-skeeted. I still love that that's a phrase. A, a thing by him uh, is basically Ukrainian soldiers' phone, uh, and it showed the search history, and all Ryan had said was, "This is so sad," but it's the search history from a Ukrainian soldier, and it's Zelensky negotiations, Putin negotiations, Trump 2025. Will the war end? Like, it's just stuff like that. And the guy, this guy that I had to report and block, which blue sky, kudos for being able to report people for being spam or trolls. Because this guy, his page was all over the place, and it's like, are you, what are you, Russian? And it's like, no, I'm just, I didn't even respond. It's like, I'm I'm a human being who took the message of this book seriously. I literally just pulled it out from one of the bookshelves downstairs, so I don't remember where it said. I would give a page if I could, but putting yourselves in someone else's shoes. The English teacher I had in a high school in ninth grade, I liked so much that I got into 11th grade. I read this in ninth grade and 10th grade. Um, and I did well in 10th grade so that I could get an English 3 honors because I liked my ninth grade English teacher so much that I wanted to take his English 4 AP course. Which is where I read The Sound and the Fury by William Faulkner, and oh my gosh, I need to find that my copy of that book because it's a masterpiece. But putting yourself in someone else's shoes, it is why people see the Trump win and they're like, how could anyone vote for that? And I look at it, I'm like, well, his lowest approval rating was when he passed the tax cuts for the super wealthy, which he's bending over backwards for at the moment. Blatantly, everyone can see it. So, I think it's only a matter of time before something boils over. Like a matter of months. But there are Palestinian Americans in Michigan who voted third party or for Trump. And seeing I put myself in their shoes because of this book. Or I try to. And this is why I'm using Blue Sky both, to speak truth to power and to promote my stream stuff. These people, Palestinian Americans in Michigan who voted for Trump, before he even got sworn in, there was the ceasefire announcement. Like, all Trump had to do was that little bit of pressure. The pressure that Biden and the Democrats refused to put on the state of Israel. And I think about how those Palestinian Americans feel knowing that, some of their family members might be spared, but also for how long? I mean, Netanyahu immediately, turned his attention to the West Bank. Trump's already said like, yeah, it would make great real estate. Or Gaza's, it's rubble. It's prime for development. It's like, okay, get your grift crap out of here. But you can hate people for how they voted, but have to this book is so important because you have to put yourself in other people's shoes. You have to take that extra step because uh, you have to try to understand where people are coming from when they make decisions like voting for Trump. Like those in their minds, like their vote possibly saved their family members, or at least kept their some of their family members alive for a few more months or weeks. Um, and I will also go on to say that in 10th grade we watched the film adaptation, and one of our projects was acting stuff out, and I wanted to play the part of Boo Radley just so I could do like in the film and go, so uh fun fact, my 10th grade English teacher also became the drama teacher, and my first foray into acting was under her tenure. And it's also when my high school drama department really entered a pretty nice renaissance for a few years. And now my high school no longer exists because, shove less funding for public schools over the decades. I remember levies being a huge thing when I was growing up, and yeah, it, you've got old people without kids who don't want to pay for the future. That's what it boils down to. But when the price of everything keeps going up, you put yourself in those old people's shoes. They're not getting enough in Social Security or whatever at this point to be able to afford first the school levies and whatnot. It's a disaster. The whole system is broken. But anyway, why I love To Kill a Mockingbird, putting yourself in someone else's shoes. It is a message that has always stuck with me, and I endeavor to make sure that my son picks up on it, because I mean it literally says at the top, the timeless classic of growing up and the human dignity that unites us all. Like it doesn't get any more simple than that. Let's move on. Weekly goals. So I given Maddie peeing downstairs in on the fireplace, and now I have to once again wash a bunch of the foam tiles for Cupcake's play done. I'm much more diligent about litter boxes. Instruments, I haven't practiced any. I really should. But I'm like I said, I'm in survival mode at this point. I'm still in survival mode. Spending time with them. That's always checked out. PvP, I'm sort of phasing out of PvP in Final Fantasy 14 for the moment. Just because I don't need that much from it. Yeah. It's it's an instant queue, but that I'm stuck there. 6 hours of sleep. I came close another one of those days. And last night I did get it, but because I'm doing the show Sunday, I can't check it off for Saturday. So next week's will be done. I started late, but I'm also running over. So does it tell me how long my stream has been? Stream health. You're not gonna tell me when I started this, are you? Well, okay, I started. Oh, and I started the broadcast at 2:50. 3:10. No, it was like 3. It was about an. I've been going for about an hour, right? It's yeah. I'm Cupcake is supposedly going down for a nap, but I've also got stuff I gotta get done, like laundry. So I have clothes to wear to work tomorrow. It's sort of important. Um, yeah. So oh, back to my week. So yesterday I screwed up my iTunes. I had a couple of things in a folder and I tried to merge, like I had an iTunes like subfolder with some of my stuff and I was trying to merge it and it deleted my library. And so I had to repopulate my entire iTunes library. And you know, not just that, but in the process, I lost an alert tone, the Jurassic Park T Rex roar that I've had since my very first iPhone back in 2011. Only text tone I paid for, which I have figured out now how to recreate it. And that is just plugging one of my old phones into my computer and just using Audacity to record the sound and then just creating a new ringtone file. um so that's but yeah. And because I finally removed my photos from iCloud, I had enough space, so all my music is on my phone now, which is fantastic. I can listen. I was listening to Lupin the Third music last night, Inuyasha, and I noticed that I said I had Apple do the album artwork thing, and I'm scrolling through, and it's like the Diablo 3 soundtrack, and the album artwork is the Wrath of the Lich King soundtrack album artwork, and I'm like, that's not Diablo. Not that I've played either game recently or have any desire to play either game. Um, but still, as anyway, um, I'm going to go because I've got my Sundays Arcadia stream in a couple hours, and Cupcake's going down for a nap. So I'm going to eat some lunch and spend some time with my wife because we haven't had time to just ourselves without Cupcake in a minute. I mean, there was yesterday, but like I napped and then she napped too. So like, and she's been working. Ooh, so Cupcake got a Tony box for Christmas, right? And we got a create your own Tony, and we're gonna put the Bluey album on it, which is actually why I had to, well, why I was messing with iTunes yesterday because I had to. She purchased it and I had to download it because family sharing, onto my computer so that we could put it the Bluey songs that we want on the creative Tony. And the Tony is just a little figurine. You put it on the box, and then the box plays the music that's on the Tony. Sort of like an amiibo, but it holds a lot more data. Uh, and the Tony she's painting, coloring, is going to look like Bingo. And so far, she's doing an outstanding job. So when I started my nap yesterday, that's what she was working on. So yeah. If anyone sees this, like, share, subscribe. At least my channel. I'm going to try to be doing. I'm going to try doing those video tutorial things, like I said. I'm not sure if the best course of action is to just record them and then publish them like onto YouTube, Blue Sky, and TikTok from my computer, or what. I don't even think the TikTok app is up on computer. It doesn't even say TikTok. Yeah, TikTok for Windows is still gone. What? No, no one wants. Yeah, that's Microsoft did not let TikTok come back. That's boo. That's fine. Anyway, have a great week, and I'm going to continue my journey of self-improvement. Um, I'm going to. Oh, first, I'm going to take my screenshot of this because where's where is my camera thing? Okay, screenshotted. My next performance, I want to do the cello piece from since I've been talking about the Bluey albums. My primary instrument was cello. Uh, and if you listen to the Dance Mode album, the song Rain, basically the episode Rain is just only instrumental. It has two tracks. The first is called Rain, and the second is Rainbow. And Rainbow has a fantastic cello solo or cello part. Um, or well, okay, the theme, the main theme in Rainbow. It goes through a couple instruments, but it does feature the cello, and it is fantastic, and I just want to play it. But at the same time, cello is one of those instruments that is quite difficult to play with a toddler around who likes to touch the instruments that you're playing. Um, so, yeah. Um, and then the board is cleared off for next week. Yay! Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Ooh. I'm also going to change this. No, I didn't do longer yet. Changing it to from just PvP to PvP slash dungeon, since I am trying to uh, do a dungeon roulette, because those usually go smoother. Not always. Anyway, have a lovely week and hope to see. Well, Cupcake, I hope you enjoyed seeing me talk about stuff. Oh man, I don't even know if you're gonna go through all these, but at least they'll be here hopefully. I just reached out to some of my dad's friends for stories about him to share with Cupcake. So yeah. Anyway, have a good day, Cupcake. I love you, kiddo.